How we doing? Got a little snack. Got my dog out. Got my dog fed. Got washed up. Now we're here with the main card opener. We're gonna get these two fighters going first. In the main card, Bruce Buffer getting Emilio's called out right now. Dude is hyped. He's pumped up. Dude is excited to be here, man. Love to see that. Jason Herzog with the controversial stoppage earlier in the day. And when I say controversial, I mean good stoppage for me. Well, let me take that back. Let me take that back. Was it a good stoppage? But technically, he stopped it because he thought he tapped when he didn't tap. But like I was saying, even though he didn't tap, if he would have let that go anymore, it would have looked bad. Now we got two of these fighters. It looks like Milo's got his foot hurt. It looks like his foot is hurt. Poor lad. 30 seconds in, and his foot is already affecting him. He went down to the ground. Noah now is on top. Noah representing France. Milo's representing Montenegro. Now he's on top here. Oh, he's got the back. He's trying to get the rear naked. Milos is squirming. Now we're against the cage. There's not much room for him to squirm now. He's tight. He's tight on the neck, and he taps. He taps. Milos already pointing to his foot. The crowd is booing him. Crowd booing him. I mean, there's not much Noah can do about that. You know what I mean? Milos hurt his foot. But Noah got on top. Got that finish. Got to give it to Noah. First fight of the main card. Finished early. Noah with the submission. Rear naked choke. Got to give it to that man. Got to give it to that man. Anybody dropping in? How you doing? Let me know how you doing in the chat. We're just watching the UFC event that's taking place in Serbia. That is the first UFC event to take place in Serbia. It's morning time for us. We're just chilling, maxing, and relaxing. It looks like it was a kick to that hit his elbow. He threw a kick. Did Milos. He threw a body kick, and it hit the elbow of Noah, and that's what hurt his foot. And then he was dragging his foot for a good couple seconds, and Noah just pretty much took advantage of that. Got on top, got behind, squeezed the shit out of his neck, made him tap. So we're about to get that official decision by Bruce Buffer. Anybody dropping in? How you doing? How you doing? Let me know in the chat. We're just chilling, watching the UFC event that is taking place in Serbia. If you're just dropping in, hope you're having a good day. If you're here for the long haul, we're just chilling, watching these fights. Get to the main card. Main event probably in the next half hour here, maybe 45. Got 5 more fights to get through. Thank y'all for dropping in. Just snacking right now too. Got some Jack Links with some cheddar cheese. You kidding me? Let me know how y'all doing. We're just chilling. Bruce Buffer about to get him in the center here. Called the rear naked choke. Then we're probably going to get Michael Bisping to get him the post-match interview. Once we get that post-match interview, and get ready for the next fight. If y'all just dropping in, let me know how y'all doing in the chat. If you're just trying to max and relax like me, that's what we doing. Let me know where y'all watching from. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. From wherever y'all from. I got me some fruit punch. Sorry for the screensaver. Got me some fruit punch. Got me some Jack Links. Making it official now. Dude was so excited to get that fight going too. I feel bad. I feel bad for Melos, man, but you know what I mean? Gotta keep your composure. For anybody dropping in, how we doing? Let me know how you doing in the chat. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We just chilling, watching the UFC event that's taking place in Serbia. We just got the first fight of the main card done. Noah got that done by rear naked choke. Now he's getting the post-match interview with Michael Bisping. And see how that works out. Later on, I kind of just totally forgot, didn't have the headphones in. It is what it is. It is what it is. Apologies. He's asking when he wants to get back in. He said he wants to stay active. He said, I want to quit my job and make money with the UFC. I feel that, Noah. I feel that. I wonder what's going to happen there. For the first 5 to 6 minutes of the stream, I didn't even realize I didn't have the headphones in. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully my video doesn't get like muted for the first 7 minutes. Mama Bear 1234. How we doing? You say hello. How you doing? We're just chilling, watching the UFC event taking place in Serbia. We finished a stream, I want to say, 20 minutes ago. We watched the preliminaries. There was about 8 fights on that card. Really good fights. We got about 7 first-round finishes. Now we're just watching the main card fights take place. The first fight just finished up. Now we're going to get this second fight going in a bit here. That's going to be Vlasto Kepo taking on Gilbert Urbina. Let me know how y'all doing in the chat. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. We're just chilling. Mama Bear, thanks for stopping in. Hope you're having a good day. Now we're getting some previews for the next fight here for Vlasto Kepo. Vlasto Kepo is... It looks like he's representing Slovakia. Where's Gilbert going to be fighting out of? I'm not too sure myself. Gilbert Urbina. Just hit us with a peace sign. Did Gilbert? Coach is just saying that Gil loves to fight. Saying the booze that we're expected to get should give us motivation. All right. Easier said than done, right? Easier said than done. For anybody dropping in, how y'all doing? Hope y'all having a good day, good afternoon, good evening. We're just chilling, watching the UFC event taking place in Serbia. Let me know what y'all ate today. I just finished eating a banana. Woke my game up, you know what I mean? I woke up at 8 a.m. thinking that the UFC was going to kick off, but they gave us an hour cancellation, so we ended up kicking the stream off at 9 a.m. Finished up that prelim card, that prelim stream, got my dog out, got myself washed up a little bit, got a banana in me, and now we're ready to watch along this main card, finish off here, and probably thinking about doing a gaming stream later in the day. Thinking about it, you know. As we wait, because they got the advertisements going, we're going to look at some of the tail of the tape here for Vlasto and Gilbert. Vlasto, who is representing Slovakia, 31 years of age, 6 foot, 73-inch reach, where Gilbert is 1 year younger, 2 inches taller. It's got 2 inches more reach. And take a look at the history they have in the UFC since joining the UFC. Go look at Chepo. This is going to be Chepo's professional debut for the UFC. Keep that in mind. We don't really have history on him. We don't really know what he's done. Whereas Gilbert, we'll go take a look on Gilbert. Gilbert only has one fight in the UFC, and that's against the guy that is headlining this card, Uros Medic. So Gilbert, coming off a loss, has something to prove here, whereas Vlasto coming in for a debut. Will be interesting to see. Only 15 seconds left of the advertisement here. Talking about Starbucks. Nah, I'm not a coffee guy. It says choose a game to stream with. I didn't even know you could do that. How are we doing? If anybody just dropping in, we're watching the UFC event that is taking place in Serbia. Just pretty much waking up. Finished the prelim card stream. Now we got the main card going. Already had one first round finish in the main card. Now they're making up for some of the time with a lot of previews and shit like that. A lot of highlights. They're like, damn it, he finished the fight too early. Let's just fill it with a bunch of highlights. Doing Mackenzie Dern highlights. Talking about her base of jiu-jitsu. It's way ahead of the game on some of the other girls in her division. Yeah, cool. But you ain't fighting for like another week, 2 weeks. I ain't worried about you right now. Let's talk about Vlasto Chepo and Gilbert Urbina, you know? For anybody dropping in, how you doing? Let me know. How about we get some flour broken down, huh? Talking about Mackenzie Dern, the champion at UFC strawweight women's division. 5 submissions, 11 wins, 7 performance awards, second most finishes in the UFC strawweight history. How impressive is that? For anybody just joining in with me, we are chilling, watching the UFC event going down in Serbia. Let me know how y'all doing. Let me know how y'all feeling. They got Vlasto as the favorite. I was hoping they would have had one of these guys out already, but they're barely getting to their little highlights. Velasco Chepo. Why do you say at home in Serbia? Isn't he Slovakian? I was showing some of the highlights of Gilbert. For anybody dropping in, we were just watching the UFC event taking place in Serbia. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let me know how you doing wherever you're watching from. We just chilling, chilling. Let me know how y'all doing. How we feeling? Who we thinking? Vlasto or we thinking Gilbert? I'm thinking Vlasto. I mean, with a name like Vlasto, you know what I mean? How we doing? How we feeling? Let me know in the chat. We just watched the UFC main event, main card taking place in Serbia. I guess my dog hears something. Let me know what y'all think in the chat, man. If we think Vlasto's gonna end up with this one or Gilbert getting the hand raised. How we feeling? Let me know. We just chilling. We can talk about anything. We just chilling this morning. Got the UFC going. Finished the UFC prelim watch along just a little bit ago. It's a pretty good stream. Thank y'all for that. For those who stopped by, maxing and relaxing with me. What I was mentioning on that last stream, for any of those that are interested in future streams, apologies of the format. I know the format may be a bit boring, but just bear with me for a couple weeks here. I'm going through a transitional period. This August, I will be moving from one state to another state. So it's not like I want to make a setup or anything like that for my live streams, because I'm pretty much packing everything up, you know. So bear with me for these next few weeks here on my streams. Apologies for the boring format. We'll try to sprucing it up when we get settled in the new place. Kind of get a good little stream setup. I don't know, because I'm going to be gaming, obviously, but I'm going to be doing a lot of sports coverages as well, and I want to have a nice little setup. I don't want to just have my phone leaning against something and recording a computer screen, you know? But it is what it is. Bear with me these next couple weeks, and we're going to get a nice setup. Creative setup, you know what I mean? I'm going to have some health and family, get some creative aspects going with it. I'm getting some advertisements right now, you know what I'm saying? Some boring ones, though. How we doing? Let me know in the chat how we doing. If we're just stopping by. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're just chilling watching the UFC event that is taking place in Serbia. Hope y'all having a good day. We're about to get Vlasto Chepo taking on Gilbert Urbina. We got a hello earlier from Mama Bear. Breaking down some of this flour, you know what I'm saying? Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these short messages. And we're back. So now we're getting Vlasto Chepo getting checked up on, getting Vaseline rubbed up on his face. He's got back-to-back wins. This is his UFC debut. 13 first-round finishes. That's quite impressive. 10 knockouts, 4 submissions. Who we thinking, y'all? Are we thinking Vlasto? Or we thinking Gilbert? Let me know in the chat. Let me know how y'all doing. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're just watching the UFC Main card going down in Serbia right now. Thank y'all for dropping by with me. Taking a bow before he enters the cage. Goes and gives a fist bump to his opponent. Now we're about to get Bruce Buffer going in a second here. Getting us the tail of the tape for both of these fighters. Come on, y'all. I'm trying to engage with y'all. How y'all doing? Let me know how y'all doing. Let me know how y'all doing in the chat. We're just chilling, watching the UFC event in Serbia. Okay, Gilbert is representing the United States. I didn't see that earlier. Bruce Buffer calling him out, getting Gilbert out. Gilbert looks pretty focused, pretty focused. I wouldn't say he looks nervous, but he doesn't look uber confident, you know what I mean? He's not oozing with confidence right now. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Shout out New Mexico for all my new Mexicans. Not my old ones, but my new ones. All right. He just got him called out. Now he's going to head over to Vlasto. Fighting out of Veliki Curtis, Slovakia. See, and John Anik said home earlier. Slovakia is not Serbia, my friend. They have similar flags. Similar flags, but not the same country, brother. His name is Chepo, and he's got the nickname El Chapo. It's pretty smart. Mark Goddard about to call us out. Let's go, Mark. Probably one of my favorite current refs. Currently active ones. About to get him in the center here. Dude, this guy's yadded up. Vlasto is. For anybody dropping in, thank y'all for dropping in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How y'all doing? Hit me with some likes, some subs. Hope y'all having a good day. We're just chilling watching the UFC event that's taking place in Serbia. Vlasto pressuring really fast. He's already got Gilbert against the cage. He's trying to throw his combos. He is just swinging for the fences. Gilbert is doing good, fighting through the storm right now. They separate. They get back to the center. Oh, Chepo gets clipped. Chepo gets clipped. He's put to his back. Gilbert's on top, hitting him with some elbows. Dude, Chepo was hitting way too fast, bro. Chepo needed to calm down, bro. Gilbert on top, hitting him with some elbows. Mark Goddard right on top of the action. It's going to get stopped here pretty soon. Gilbert hitting him with some ground and pound. More ground and pound, more elbows. Boom, boom. Mark finishes the fight. Mark finishes the fight. It's over. Gilbert puts him down. Yo, why did you come in that hot, bro? Fucking Vlasto came in hot. Vlasto came in hot, was pressing him against the cage, was just wild shots, bro. Wild. Nothing precise. It didn't look like anything, What's the word I'm looking for? He's talking to Dana Wright right now, Gilbert. Oh, sorry about that. Nothing, no precise shots. He was just going in with some wild shots. Gilbert was able to get off of the fence, get back to the center of the octagon, and clipped him with a right. Clipped him with a right and just got on top, hitting him with some big, good ground and pound, good elbows. I'm sorry, it was a left. It was a switch left. Woo! What a result for Gilbert, especially coming off a loss. Big elbows to end the fight. Good stoppage from Mark Goddard. Good step in there. He was just going to take more damage from there on out. Good TKO finish for Gilbert. He's going to be getting in there, getting his hand raised. That's 2 first-round finishes in the main card. And we got, I think, 6 first-round finishes in the prelims. Man, this card, man. Fireworks. Excitement. that was the middleweight division. Hey, thank y'all for tagging along, sticking through it. Hope y'all ain't getting too bored. Hope y'all enjoying your time. Hope y'all having a good day. Thank y'all for sticking through. I just got a little excited there. Excuse me. Got a little excited. Got to see Gilbert fight through that storm, come off the cage. Said, man, you just gonna fire at me wildly like that? Let me teach you a lesson. Taught him a lesson real quick. So big ups to Gilbert, about to get his hand raised. Anybody just dropping in, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How y'all doing? Let me know in the chat how y'all doing. We're just chilling, watching the UFC event taking place in Serbia. It is the first UFC event to take place in Serbia. They had 7 home nation fighters on the card. We saw 4 of them in the prelims, 3 of them getting their hand raised. So it's a good day for the Serbian fans. They got that arena filled up real fast too. I want to say third fight into the prelims, you almost couldn't see a seat. You couldn't see a seat, empty seat. So it's good to see that the fans are taking advantage of an event taking place in their country when it's the first time it's happened, right? Anybody just dropping in, thank y'all for dropping by. Hit me with some likes, hit me with some subs. If y'all enjoying the content, we just chilling. Breaking down some flour now, about to, you know what I'm saying? We just watching the fights. Good morning. We had a banana earlier to get me refueled. We're good now. We're good for the next hour or so. Vlasto pointing over to Gilbert while he gets his hand raised. Nothing but respect from both fighters. They give each other a little hug before Michael Bisping comes in for the post-match interview. Yo, hi. VYOM, the GOAT. VYOM, the GOAT. How you doing, man? How you doing? We just chilling. How you doing? We're watching the UFC main event that's taking place in Serbia. Michael Bisping now giving the post-match interview with Gilbert. Post-match interview here, Gilbert. He asked Gilbert, was this the plan? Did he know he was going to come out, heavy like that? And he said he pretty much knows the guy comes out and bangs, so that was the plan. So game plan succeeded. For anybody dropping in, how you doing? Let me know in the chat how we doing. I got a couple hellos. Appreciate it. Hello to everybody back. We're just chilling, watching the UFC event taking place in Serbia. Hope y'all having a good day, good evening, wherever you watching from. Appreciate the comments. Appreciate y'all engagement in the chat. Let's get some likes going. So he just got the chance to give his last little word, right, Gilbert? And he's like, hey, this was for El Chapo, because you can't have dudes stealing the name El Chapo. Now he's getting his last pictures with his coaches. For anybody dropping in, how y'all doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Well, I can say good afternoon now. I ain't got to keep saying good morning. It is no longer morning time out here, you folks. But if you are watching and it is morning time for you, good morning. We just chilling. For those of you watching, I was explaining how, the format may be a little boring. But just bear with me a couple weeks. I'm going to be going through a transitional period, moving state to state. Once I get settled into the new place, then we're gonna get a good setup going. Try to get a good creative setup going, not just a normal schlango setup. You know what I mean? We got to get a good creative setup. I have a cousin who she likes to do artwork, so I'm gonna have her help me with the streaming setups. All right, so that finished off that round fight. 4 more fights left in this card. It's gonna take us over to Dusko. Woo! How we say that name? Dusko Todorovic taking on Robert Valentin. So that's going to be getting ready to come up. That is going to be a middleweight bout. And he's going to be the next Serbian to enter the octagon. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Taekwondo black belt. Quite impressive. Quite impressive. We're getting a low battery warning. It's not what we want to hear. Not what we want to see. So I think after doing it last week and doing it today, I can say that my phone won't last through a 4-hour stream. I mean a 5-hour stream. That's when it'll probably start dying on me. Heard something outside. Checking to see who it was. Shaq. How we doing, Shaq? Shaquille O'Neal. Hitting us with a Carvana commercial. Shaqvana is what he's trying to say. Okay, buddy. All right. For anybody dropping in, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How we doing? How we doing? Let me know in the chat how we doing. We are just chilling, watching the UFC event taking place in Serbia. We are now on the main card. We finished up a prelim watch along about a half hour ago, 45 minutes ago. So if you're here from there, shout out to you. Thank you for tagging along with me to watch the UFC main card. Next, we're going to get these two coming up. Probably butchering this name here, but I believe that is Dusko Todorovic, who looks to be 13-6 in his professional career, taking on Robert Valentin, who looks to be 12-6 in his professional career. A year apart, Robert Valentin being the younger fighter. An inch difference in height, Robert being a little bit taller, and the 3-inch advantage reach for Robert Valentin. We're about to see where these guys are representing. If you're just joining along here, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. We are watching the UFC event taking place in Serbia. I do believe Dusko is going to be representing Serbia. I feel another sneeze coming. Excuse me, holy moly. And we got Dusko and Robert about to make their way into the octagon. Robert Valentin is going to be representing Switzerland. I can't say I know of many Swiss UFC fighters. Dusko Todorovic. I stand corrected, folks. Dusko, about to get his highlights going here. Looks to have good grappling, good ground and pound, and now making a home appearance in Serbia. Now they're showing Roberts. He has good stand-up, also decent grappling. And again, representing Switzerland. Robzilla. Oh boy, he has a tattoo, a Naruto tattoo on his belly button. That's gotta be played out, no? I mean, shouts out Naruto, but you gotta. How many people got that tattoo? You know what I mean? Getting an ad for Mobland. Guy who plays Venom. Is that Hardy? Is that going to be a show or a movie? I think it's a show. The way they're showing this. New season September 18th. So yes, it will be a series. As we are waiting, let's go take a look at some of the previous fights that these men have had in the UFC. We'll start off with Dushko. Dushko has been in the UFC since 2020. That is some history. That is some history. Been in the UFC since 2020. In 2020, had a KO TKO finish against Daquan Townsend. That put him at 1-0 in the UFC. Following year, lost 2 and won 1, but lost to Gregory Rodriguez, who's basically Cybercop or Robocop. Dude's a beast. But lost 2 and won 1, so that would put him at 2-2 in the UFC going into 2022. Then loses 1 and wins 1, puts him at 3-3 in the UFC going into 2023. Loses by a first-round knockout against Christian Leroy Duncan in 2023, puts him at 3-4. Then another loss puts him at 3-5. 4-6 after 2025. Gets a fight canceled against Dante Johnson, and now has the chance to get to go against Robert Valentin. And Robert Valentin, let's take a look at his fights. He's been here since 2024. Lost against Ryan Loder. KO in the second round. Lost against Atiba Gaucher, but Atiba Gaucher is from another planet, right? From another planet. Lost to Torres, so nothing but losses here for Robert Valentin, and a loss to Julian LeBlanc. Nothing but losses here for Robert Valentin, which doesn't give me too much confidence against Dushko. They have Dushko here, 8 first-round finishes, finished 12 of 13 fights, 8 knockouts, 4 submissions. If we're just dropping in, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, how y'all doing? We're just chilling, watching the UFC event taking place in Serbia. Got both fighters in the octagon. Now we're about to get them both called out. Bruce Buffer now getting him called out. Calling out Robert Valentin first. Got him down as the favorite. Got him down as the favorite. Fighting out of Zurich, Switzerland. I mean, I was saying it earlier, it's a pretty cliche tattoo, but I fuck with it. I fuck with it. Now they're calling out Duško, who is fighting out of Serbia, home nation fighter. Probably going to get a good crowd backing in this fight. Coming in as the underdog, Duško Thunder Todorovic. For anybody dropping in, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're dropping in from. We are watching the UFC event taking place in Serbia. Let me know how you're doing in the chat. They're about to get this one going. Ref calls them in. Oh, push kick. Push kick from Robert. Pushes Duško way back, which gives Robert the chance to kind of control the center here. Tries to do another push kick. Duško goes for a takedown. Robert with the headlock. Oh, Robert with a real tight headlock. Lifting him off of his feet. We're on the ground here. We're on the ground. He got out of that headlock. Robert able to stay on top here. We're kind of in a half guard position. Still controlling the top here is Robert. Using his head to kind of change position. Putting his head like right in his chin. Kind of in full guard now. Almost against the cage here. No damage here being dealt. Just Robert hanging out on top here in the half guard. Todorovic is trying to back himself against the gate so he has something to press up against. Which he is now. He's up against the fence. But he goes for a single leg instead of coming up to his feet. Robert is just hanging out on top of this front headlock with Duško against the fence. Duško now has Robert pressed against the fence. He's trying to drive in for a double. Trying to reverse this action, which he might get. Gets the double, puts Robert on his back. Robert has got that guillotine. He doesn't have a lot of leverage, though. He's on his back trying to squeeze a guillotine. Duško now with a head and arm hold. He's got to be able to get out of the half guard if he wants to get enough pressure on here to make him tap. He needs to jump guard. Does Duško. Oh, nice reversal. Nice reversal from Robert to get back on top. He had an over and under position. Kind of just cranked him over and got on top. Robert now on top. He's in full guard. Trying to pass it. Duško kind of getting stacked up against himself. Now we're back into full guard. Robert just hanging out on top here. Minute and a half left in this first round. Slips his head out. Trying to get behind Robert. Robert trying to hang on to the single leg. Robert just hanging out on top still. Almost back to our feet. Oh, Dushko able to reverse again, it looks like. Just drive on this double. Nope, Robert able to switch his hips. Oh, and a tap. A tap. Oh, man. Dushko tries to get him with a takedown. Robert just jumps on him, squeezes that neck, and gets a tap. Oh, wow. They just came out with a crazy stat. They said with that fight finish right there, they just tied the modern era with the most first-round finishes in the UFC event. So if we get another first-round finish in these next 3 fights, that'll be the most first-round finishes in any UFC event in the modern era. That's quite a feat. Quite a feat. And up next, we're going to get Alexander Rakic taking on Marcin Tybura in the heavyweight clash. Oy, oy, oy. Nice little stretch there. Just got a message on my PlayStation Network from a friend. Do you have Dead Side? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do. Yes, sir, I do. Does that mean I have to re-download it? Is he about to say, oh, let's play it? I would have to re-download it. We'll see. Everybody dropping in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How you doing? How you doing? Let me know in the chat how we doing. We are just chilling, watching the UFC event taking place in Serbia. Let's see what our battery level is at. We are at 12%. We're almost at 10%. Probably will be able to get through this next fight, but I believe for the co-main and main event, I'll have to hook up to a charger. We got Bruce Buffer, got him in the center here to get that official decision of these two fighters. Robert Valentin made short work of Dushko. Trying to give his respect to the crowd. So awkward. He's got Robert Valentin in the center for the post-match interview, and his opponent is there just like standing next to him. Apparently he wants to translate for the fans. He said they're opponents today, but they're brothers any other day. He said he's honored to fight in Serbia, warrior country. Just heard a knock. Hold on. Oops. Sorry about that. I did get a knock on the door. Looks like my mom went for work. Give me a second here. Let me open the door for the dogs. Hey, my baby. And we're back. And we are back. It's telling me 10% battery. So with that fight finished up, that's going to take us into Alexander Rakic. Taking on Marcin Tybura. But now they're giving a promo for freaking Islam Makhachev and Ian Gary. The Takeover Part 2. Showing some of his highlights. Ian Gary. Again, not interested. That ain't happening tonight. I ain't want to see this for another 2 weeks. Is what it is. Islam's return. I'm excited to see Islam back in the ring, man. What I'm not looking forward to for that weekend is I don't think I'm going to be able to stream that watch along, because I'm going to be going to my boss's house to watch that fight. Islam Makhachev versus Ian Machado Gary. That's going to be in a couple weeks. But again, I don't think I'm going to stream that one. It's going to be the last fight I watch at my boss's house. So yeah, it's a little sad thinking about it. He says, there's no way I'm leaving that octagon without that belt. Big words. I'm going to pressure him. Different level. I show different level. The Irish are back, baby. For anybody jumping into the stream, how we doing? How you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. We are just chilling, watching the UFC event taking place in Serbia. It is the first event the UFC is hosting in Serbia. Gotta get this setup moved around a little bit, so bear with me. I gotta get my phone on the charger. Looked like one of the UFC fighters jumped into the crowd and was getting some love. Oh, Bogdan. Bogdan jumped in there and was getting looked like his hugs and kisses from his wife. Oh my gosh, they still haven't got these guys near the tunnel? So next up, we're going to get Alexander Rakic taking on Marcin Tybura. Third most fight time in UFC heavyweight history. The man has been in the octagon for over 4 hours. Marcin Tybura at number 13 ranked. So this gives a good opportunity for Alexander Rakic to climb the rankings. For those joining in the future, how we doing? How you doing? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments how we're doing, where we're watching from. We are watching the UFC event that is taking place in Serbia. Very first UFC event to take place in Serbia. They have 7 home nation fighters on the card to represent. Dutton Ranch. See what that battery's looking like. 7. Yeah, we're gonna have to get on that charger real soon here. Maybe I don't need to move this setup. Looks like I'm able to plug it up right there. Now it's, can I get the phone to stand while I have it on? Let's try to get it going here. With me for a second. Might just have to hold it. Is what it is. Let's play a game while we wait, huh? As we wait. Got cat, got act. We are waiting waiting for Alexander and Marcin to walk out. Let's get to that level 2. 10. Next. Am I right or am I wrong? Level 3. If you get stuck, you can use a hand. 1. Now on. Not too shabby. You got pot. You got top. You got opt. Okay, you know when you opt out of something, we have that other option. Yeah. We'll go ahead and claim that. You got wall. You got law. You got all. How we doing? We just chilling. Waiting for these next parts to come out. Got my phone on charger. The shuffle button can help you find words faster. Easy. Say yes. Oh, there's more. We already got say. See. C-O-S-E-A. Duh. I'm slow. We got next plan. Plan. Lap. Out. Nap. Hand. Alright, we gotta do that one. The hammer reveals any letter you want. Ram. Mar. Not a word. Oh, you found an extra word. Okay. Farm. Fam ain't a word, guys. Oh, we get a little present now? Lit. Stew. Oh, so. Stew. Wet. Set. West. Got it. I'll be feeling slow looking at this thing. Level 10. Many. Any. Alright, let's stop. Exit the game. Because we got it back. Marcin Tybura is already in the octagon. Alexander making his way to the octagon. They're all pretty much standing for this guy. Look at him. A lot of love from the fans here for Alexander. Let's go take a look at some of their history if we got time here. Joined 2017, started off with a win. Going into 2018, 1-0. Wins 2 fights, goes into 2019, 3-0. Loses his first fight of 2019, then wins his first fight of 2019, then loses. Puts him at 4-1 going into 2020. Beats Anthony Smith, 5-1 going into 2021. Beats Thiago Santos, 6-1 going into 2022. Loses to Jan Blachowicz, who's going to be our next fighter in the next fight. 2024, loses to Magomed. Loses to Yuri Prochazka. And then last year, loses to Azamat. And we got to keep in mind that this is all in the light heavyweight division. Today's fight is going to be in the heavyweight division. And Marcin Tybura, let's go ahead and take a look at what he's done. He's also been in the UFC at least since 2016. Had a canceled fight against Derek Lewis. Beat Victor. Lost to Timothy. Goes into 2017 1-1. Loses a fight. Wins a fight. Wins another. Goes into 2018 3-2. Loses to Derek Lewis. He finally got it. Stefan Struve, he beat. Lost to Shamil. Lost to Augusto in 2019, 2020. Beats Greg Hardy. Loses to beats Ben Rothwell. Beats Maxim. Beats Sergey Spivak. Had a good year 2020. Loses to Alexander Volkov in 21. Beats Walt Harris. Beats Alexander Romanov. Had a canceled fight against Jairzinho. Lost to Tom Aspinall in the first round. In 2023, beats Blagoy. Beats Janata Deniz. Loses to Sergey Spivak, so they're 1-1. They've had 2 fights together. Beat Tai Tuivasa, who we had a canceled fight with in February, but they made up for it in the following month. 2025, beats Mick Parkin, loses to Ante, which brings us into 2026, where he lost to Tyrell Fortune. Here we are. Gets us ready to go. But he had, Alexander had a good career at the light heavyweight. But once he got to those top 5 ranked fighters, such as Magomed Ankalaev, Yuri Prochazka, Jan Blachowicz, he struggled with those top ranked fighters. He is the favorite going into this fight here against Marcin Tybura, who is ranked number 13 at heavyweight and is Polish. So now we're going to get Bruce Buffer calling them both out. First, we're getting Marcin Tybura getting called out. They got him as the underdog. He is 5-5 as an underdog in the UFC. Looks slightly nervous, you know what I mean? They got him fighting out of Vienna, Austria. He's fighting as the favorite today, and he's 5-4 as the favorite. I'm trying to prop my phone up, man. Bear with me, yo. I'm sorry. Guess it ain't happening. Maybe if I did this. I'll just hold it like that for now. Opens up with a leg kick from Alexander. Alexander in the red, another leg kick. Marcin answers with the left hook. Two big heavyweights here. Alexander with some good shots down the middle. Good front kick from Marcin. Directly in front of each other. Standing in the center. Banging it out. Leg kick, Alexander. Marcin tries to go up high with a kick. Midsection kick from Marcin. Nice body kick from Alexander. That one found its target. Marcin kind of pressing forward. Alexander not just standing out in front of Marcin. He is sticking and moving. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. You know what I'm saying? Just hold it right there, buddy. Just hold it right there. Another sneeze coming, guys. Holy shit balls. Marcin with a leg kick to body kick. Alexander controlling the center right now. 1-2 misses for Marcin. Good head movement from Marcin, especially for a heavyweight. That's a big body Bugatti move his head around like that. Marcin really trying to work to the body with those kicks. A lot of leg kicks from Alexander. A little flurry there from Marcin Tybura. Just standing in front of each other in the center here. Leg kick checked by Marcin. Excuse me. 2 more fights after this, guys. Co-main, then the main. 2 more fights. Alexander with some stabbing front kicks. Marcin just storming right through it, though. Alexander with a good left hand connects. Oh, head kick connects, but Marcin kind of just ate it, walked through it. Leg kick from Alexander. Anybody just dropping in? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. We are just chilling, watching the UFC event that is taking place in Serbia. It is the first UFC event to take place in Serbia. They have 7 home national fighters on the card. One of them right now taking place with Alexander Rakic taking on Marcin Tybura. Rakic has been a little bit more active through this first round. I'd say more of the volume fighter. Marcin looking for power shots, but just none really connecting quite yet. So it can go either way in the second round, but I'd give that first round to Alexander. One of the most anticipated films of the year, The Last Airbender. The Legacy Reawakens. What we think about The Last Airbender? What we think about The Last Airbender? Let me know. All I gotta say is, fuck the blue people. Blue people are ass. Yo, Marston's 40 years old? I didn't even peep that. Homie's moving in there actually pretty well for a 40-year-old. I must say. I must say, I must say. Now they're back in the center, standing in front of each other. Marston with some body kick, leg kick to open up the second round. Alexander is looking pretty good at heavyweight. But if I'm being honest, I feel like towards the top five, he's not comparing. Probably the same situation that he ran into in the light heavyweight. Pretty much walking through everybody since 2017, but then once he got top five competition like Magomed Ankalaev, Yuri Prochaska, Jan Blachowicz, he couldn't handle those guys. Nice left hand. They think there was a finger in the eye there. It was a slap. It wasn't a closed fist. That was an open fist. Marston's showing some good head movement in this second round again, but just not great offense. Stabbing front kick from Alexander. So this is going to be a fight that we're going to see going to the distance. Could very well be. Two heavyweights. Oh, nice knee in the clinch from Marston. Starting to bleed from the ear a little bit. From the left ear is Alexander. Maybe pop his cauliflower a little bit. So I get given first round to Alexander. This round is considerably more closer than I'd say than the first round. But I'd still got Alexander winning this second round so far. little bit more bigger action from him. More of the defensive work is from Marcin. I'm seeing good head movement. Backing Alexander away with front kicks. But just not too much connecting from Marcin. Less volume, less impact. A lot of front kicks. He's been working that front kick all camp, it seems like. Leg kick from Alexander. Both standing here in the middle here. "30 seconds left in the second round. Marcin still has some pretty good movement. You would think kind of going into the third round exhausted, but I don't think he's exhausted, but he's not fresh. Alexander looks to be the more fresher fighter going into the third round. 10 seconds left. We just heard the horn. They both go for a kick. Marcin went for a head kick. Rakic went for a leg kick and put Marcin just stumbling down for a second. We're giving that second round to Alexander as well, I'd like to think. So we're going into the third round. Alexander with a lead. So Marcin's probably going to be coming in hot with some big shots. Probably trying to put this away in the third round. Because I do not think that Marcin can pull this back and win a decision. He'll have to come in and win a stoppage if he wants this fight to end his way. For anybody dropping in, how we doing? Let me know how we doing in the chat. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We were just chilling watching the UFC event that is taking place in Serbia. First UFC event to take place in Serbia. They have 7 home national fighters on the card. We are currently looking at, I want to say the 5th or 6th. I think it's the 6th. Third round, here we go. They touch gloves. Rakic opens up with a 1-2 down the middle, misses. Marcin's trying to counter. Just a little too slow. I don't think Marcin's going to be able to catch him on a counter moving that slow, especially in the third round. You got some fatigue going. If y'all just dropping in, how you doing? Thank y'all for dropping in. We're just chilling, watching the UFC main card that's taking place in Serbia. Hope y'all having a good one. Who we think that's going to get their hand raised after the horn sounds? I think it's going to be Alexander Rakic. Had a really good first round. Second round was a little bit more competitive, but towards the end of that second round, more connections being made by Rakic. You just see a little bit more mistakes by Marcin. Just standing in front of each other here in the center. Racic's trying to work towards the body. Marcin Tubur just kind of circling left. The way this fight's going, it looks like Alexander's going to be walking away here, not just with a win, but probably a spot on the rankings in the heavyweight division. Leads in with a combination and gets Marcin against the cage, and now he's kind of holding him against that cage. 3 minutes left into the third round. Last final round for these two heavyweights. Nice little short elbow from Alexander. As soon as they separated, he throws an elbow in and it connects. Another one. Nice elbows from Alexander. Thank y'all for dropping in. If you there, say hello. I'll say hello back. Give you a little shout out. Alexander still holding Marcin against the cage here. Both trying to fight for wrist control. Still just holding him against the fence here. 2 minutes left to work for these two fighters. And that's 2 minutes in the last round. So we're almost done here. Still just trying to hold him against the cage is Alexander. Just pressing against the cage, trying to control Marcin Tybura. Remember last round of the fight, I got Alexander winning those first 2 rounds, so he could just be playing this smart. Just trying to get some control time to keep this fight in the bag. A little bit of a shoulder bash to cause separation. Not much separation there. Okay. Ratchet still just kind of hold them against the cage. 1 minute left. Probably just content with finishing the fight like this. So I just checked to make sure, but I have Ratchich there holding Tybura against the fence. 30 seconds left in this fight. Really just holding him against the cage here. Couple knees, couple short uppercuts that hit the body. Nice left hand over the top to hit Marcin. Marcin is trying to... Ref stopped the fight for a second to make sure Alexander stops grabbing the cage. Alexander Rakic goes the distance with Marcin Tybura. Pretty sure we know who's going to get their hand raised here. Then we're going to get Bruce Buffer giving us a hand raise. And I'm sure we're going to get a post-match interview with this gentleman. My phone got up to 21%. Probably am going to... Oh, wait. I think we got it right there, guys. I think we got it to hold right there. Let's see if we can get it to stick right there. Ooh, nice little stretch. For those of you just joining in or watching in the future, how we doing? Let me know in the chat. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. We're just chilling, watching the UFC event that is taking place in Serbia. That is also the first UFC event to take place in Serbia, the Belgrade Arena. Shouts out to Serbia. We got them both back in the center here. Bruce Buffer about to call the official decision. Only the second decision fight through the night of both the prelims and the main card. Probably going to give that 30-27. 30-27. All three judges scored at 30-27. I figured. Getting his hand raised. Now he's getting to get that post-match interview with Michael Bisping. That's got to feel good being able to win at home. Yeah, a ranked heavyweight. Now he's getting the crowd behind it. You see what I mean? Like, they speak English, and it's almost like you can hear crickets in the crowd. But he starts to speak his language, and it's almost like we're watching a UFC event in France. Just listening what he's saying to Michael Bisping here. He said, for those of my fans that watch me in the light heavyweight position, they know I only like to fight the best of the best, and that's not going to change in the heavyweight. Got the crowd behind him to do a chant. That was cool. That was cool. He basically, all he had to say was his first name, and then the crowd would say his last name. Alexander Rakic. Alexander Rakic. That's got to be pretty cool, right? That's got to be a cool feeling. Now we got, look at that. Shama, Alex Pereira is in Serbia watching the fights. That might be an interesting fight to make. Alex Pereira and Alexander Rakic. Only because Alex Pereira is coming off a loss against Cyril Gane. Next, we're going to get Jan Blachowicz taking on Navajo Sterling, which is supposed to be the co-main event of the day. We got Jan, who's coming at 43 years old, who's got to be the oldest on the card, taking on Navajo Sterling, who is 28 years old. Should be an interesting bout. Boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. So some of the highlights before they got that co-main event going. Alexander Rakic. For those of y'all just dropping in, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How we doing? Hope y'all having a good day. We're just chilling, watching the UFC event that is taking place in Serbia. They got Navajo Sterling at number 10 taking on Jan Blachowicz at number 13. So it's going to be a top 15 bout. Alexander's still kind of heading out the arena here. Getting to the tunnel, getting a lot of love from the fans. Jan Blachowicz. So it's going to be a case of a A veteran. A veteran taking on a prospect. Navajo thinks it's going to be a passing of the torch moment. Jan is saying that he knows the kid is coming in with more strength, more motivation, but he's coming in to show his experience and show why he's a UFC fighter. Much respect to Jan. He says, just because I'm an older guy doesn't mean it's going to be an easy fight for Navajo. I still got plenty of fight in me. Gotta love that. What is that, New Zealand or Australia? Who's he representing? I think it's New Zealand. He just looks like a Kiwi, you know? Dude's freaking ears are tore up, bro. It's crazy. So now these guys are walking in. For those of you just dropping in, I hope y'all having a good one. We were just chilling, watching the UFC event taking place in Serbia. Right now, we're going to get Navajo Sterling taking on Jan Blachowicz. Let's go ahead and take a look at what some of these guys have done in the UFC since joining. We got Navajo Sterling, who last year in May got a decision win against Ivan, got a decision win against Rodolfo, and then got a TKO win against Bruno Lopez, followed by another TKO win against Ian Kudalaba, which takes us to Jan Blachowicz. I'm not going to go through his whole thing because this man has been here since what? 2017? 2014. That's the year I graduated high school. Yeah, we're not going to go through his whole thing, but the man has a resume, okay? Jan has a resume. Navajo right now is getting the Vaseline rubbed up on him. Undefeated. Second longest active win streak in the UFC light heavyweight division. Largest significant strike differential in the UFC light heavyweight history. Plus 300, 3.62 per minute. Trying to get this situated here, the phone. There we go. I'm using a torch lighter and a deodorant stick to keep my phone up. There we go. Only one fight after this one, so we would hope that we don't got to deal with this too much longer. Jan walking out now. I believe that's 3 Polish fighters on the day. Dang, the dude next to him was tall as hell. Co-main event time, guys. Co-main event. Let me know who y'all got. Do we got Jan, the veteran, or do we got Navajo Sterling? Let me know how y'all doing in the chat. If y'all watching in the future, let me know how y'all doing in the comments. We're just chilling, watching the UFC event taking place in Serbia. First time Serbia's getting an event. Former UFC light heavyweight champion in Jan. Second most significant strikes in UFC light heavyweight history with over 1,000. Just got into the octagon, did Jan. Then we're going to get Bruce Buffer calling him out. I kind of got to go to the restroom, y'all. Give me a quick second. We'll be right back. All right, we back. Sorry about that, but we back. We in the co-main event. Bruce Buffer about to get him called out. Calling out Navajo Sterling first. Fighting out of Auckland, New Zealand. They got him as the favorite. He was the favorite in all of his 6 UFC fights. Pretty calm, cool, collected. Then we got Jan beating his fists together. Looks slightly jittery. Got him as an underdog. He is 10-4-1 as a UFC underdog. Former UFC light heavyweight champion. Gotta give him some respect. Let's get it going, Jan. That's really cool. So earlier I was saying he's the 3rd Polish fighter on the card. They just panned over to the crowd where they had a section of Polish fans. And it looks like they had made shirts of all 3 of the fighters that were fighting today from Poland. So that's cool. And that was Mateusz Rebecki. It's Jan, and there was one other fighter from Poland. Leg kicks from Navajo to start it off. Jan controlling the center with his back towards the monster can. A little bit of a slip after a kick from Navajo. Jan tried to get behind, didn't work out. Navajo has him pressed against the cage now. Over and under position. Navajo trying to work with his tie up here against the cage. He's showing some knees. Using that head against Jan to keep him against that cage. They said it was a 2-week 2-week notice for Navajo. Did they just say June? He fought Ian in June? Dang, that's a really, really fast turnaround. That's a real fast turnaround for Navajo. He fought in June of this year. And now he's back in the octagon facing a former light heavyweight champion in Jan Blachowicz. Sure, Jan is, over 40, but it is what it is. Why earlier? Oh, because that was the meta rankings. So they have Jan is actually number 4 ranked fighter in the UFC at light heavyweight, and they got Sterling at number 15. Earlier I said I think Sterling 10 and Blachowicz 13, which I think is a little bit more accurate. Oh, Jan got rocked. Navajo's on top. Ground and pound. Big elbows. Ground and pound. Mark is right on top of the action, giving Jan a chance to recover. 2 minutes left. Elbows. Oh, he's leaking from the bridge of the nose. More ground and pound. More elbows. Lots of blood coming out of Jan now. More elbows against the cage. More ground and pound. He's on his feet. All right, Mark Goddard stops it. Oh, the guy's blasted open from the nose. Good job from Navajo. That's the co-main out the way, guys. Main event next. He wasted no time with Jan. Boom! Right hand. And just shoved him. And after he shoved him, Jan had no feet and just basically fell down to the ground. And Navajo rushed him, got on top, and with some beautiful ground and pound. Great elbows. Stood up on his feet. Some real deal ground and pound right there. John Anik getting wild for that one. Michael Bisping and Paul Felder looking kind of like they knew that was going to happen. Now we're going to get Navajo Sterling in a post-match interview. It's going to be interesting to see what he has to say at the light heavyweight division. You just finished beating a former champion, number 4 ranked fighter in the world. You can only think above that, right? So I'm thinking a fight that makes sense for him might be Yuri, because Yuri is coming off a loss against Carlos Ulberg for the belt. So I feel like, if Jan would be able to put this guy away, it would be a good foreshadow for the belt once again, and then vice versa. If Navajo is able to put Yuri away, I think that's a telltale sign that this guy just needs to go for the belt next. Got them both in the center now. Bruce Buffer is calling out the official decision. First round stoppage. Still undefeated, Navajo. To fight a short notice, nobody's ever beaten Jan like that. Second longest active win streak in UFC light heavyweight division. 6. saying he's a big fan of him. You know, lots of respect from Navajo. Sticking to the game plan, slapped him with that left, went over with a straight right, rock Yuri bad, pushed him over, got on top, flurry of ground and pound. Mark Goddard gave Jan that, you know, that little bit of time, but we all saw it. You know, it was a good stoppage from Mark. Does he have a name? Hey, that's a good call out. I like that. He said, "Does if Roundtree or who was the other one he just called out, or Paulo Costa, if either of them want to fight before the end of the year, I'm game." That's a good call out. Title contender? I think so. I think so, that we are looking at a future title contender. All right, so Navajo Sterling getting that co-main event done, which brings us back to our last fight of the card, which is going to be Uros Medic taking on Daniel D-Rod Rodriguez. I'm sure we're going to get a good 5 minutes of promos and highlights before we even start getting these guys walking out. Second shortest average fight time in the UFC welterweight history, which is 4 minutes. That's not just of current fighters either. That's of history. That's quite impressive. Then you got D-Rod over here, tied with the 6th most knockdowns among active UFC welterweights. 7. For those of you just dropping by, how y'all doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Let me know. I hope y'all having a good one. We're just chilling, watching the UFC event that's taking place in Serbia. Serbia. So let me know how y'all doing. We're just chilling, waking our games up. Tonight is the night. Give me everything tonight. And give me everything tonight. For all we know, might not be a tomorrow, be tonight. Bow, meow, 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 meow. Oh shit, I don't have to be muted for 30 seconds? You did tell me. What, you left your headphones though? Huh? Oh, you think he said he's looking for him. Just getting some advertisements. Just bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. There he is. Oh, but instantly heard that fire alarm. Instantly. Me. Uh-huh. We'll hear it again, don't worry. We'll hear it again. We know that you just don't hear them type of stuff. It's just a pitch that you just don't hear, is it? What's up, Doc? How was the flight? Oh, there it went again. You heard it. You heard it. You did it! No, you win again, dog. How we doing? How we doing? Last fight. There it went! There it went! There it went! And for him not to hear it the first 2 times. I'm telling you, dog, like, you need to be reminded. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Just dare I say, your kind just doesn't hear that. Huh? So weird. It's got batteries in it or no? See, man. I hope you don't mind. I'm just wrapping up a stream. We are watching the last fight of the main card. Last fight of the main card. Morning UFC event in Serbia. Now we're getting the main event. D. Rodriguez. They're talking about D. Rodriguez. So his story is, in his last fight, he fought Kevin Holland. Won, right? Went in celebration mode. Got in a car with some friends. Tried to drive down to Mexico to celebrate. Got pulled over. Had weed in the car. Over an ounce of weed. Had weed pens in the car. And he spent the next 8 months in prison in Mexico. Yep. After getting his hand raised in the UFC octagon. Gets put in a Mexican prison for 8 months. So you know how for a lot of these UFC promos, they show how the training camp goes and this and that. Well, they're showing little clips and little phone clips while he was training in prison. Fucking crazy. And now they're showing highlights for Uros Medic, who is the Serbian headliner. Serbia had 7 fighters representing through the whole card, and I think 5 of them winning. If Uros wins this should get him in the top 10. But yeah, man, how's the flight? Yeah. Okay. When time was the flight? 6:30. Giving yourself 10 minutes to get through a security line is crazy. Oh, you took your car? And you're there for, you said, how many days? How much is that going to be when you leave with your car? $60? And that's $60 for 2-3 days, or $60 for $30 a day? That's not too bad, right? That's not too bad. So that's my next question is, if you're only 30 minutes away, why couldn't you get a ride? Or why didn't you Uber? Why did we decide to drive? Oh, okay. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Oh. Should have stayed musty, he said. Yeah. D-Rod making his way. Slowly walking out. Got that red lipstick tattoo on his cheek. You know that's gang related. Dude is tatted head to toe though, bro. He's bald, and his whole scalp is tatted. Them type of dudes are scary as fuck, bro. Sitting through tattoo sessions for hours. Yeah. This is a guy in Mexican prison. Sitting hours in a session to get your scalp tattooed is crazy. Yeah. And his whole head, bro, his whole head is blasted. Whole back. He's got sleeves. He's got a big chest tattoo. Neck is all tatted. How old is he? 39. Getting the Vaseline rubbed up on him. We love the Vaseline part. 3-fight win streak. Highest significant strike rate in UFC welterweight history. Not among active current fighters, among history. Tied with the third most wins since 2020 in the UFC welterweight division. 9 wins since 2020. That's almost more than 10 fights in 5 years. Guys average about two fights a year. Some of your more active fighters we'll see get 3 to 4 fights. Finishing up his walkout. Then we're going to get Uros Medic coming out, who's going to be the hometown hero for the main event. Ha! John Anik just said, nod to the tattoo artist as well. Yeah, man had work to do on this guy. Holy fuck. It couldn't be just one tattoo artist. Couldn't be. Lights go off for Uros. What's going on? You're in your 6th game? 7th game? 6-0? 6-0, 7th game. This is your last game of the regular season? No? One more game. Oh, halfway. It's 12 games? Okay. Okay. Uros starting to walk through. For those of you dropping in, how you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for dropping in. We are currently watching the UFC event, main event that's going down in Serbia. So thank you for watching along. We are just chilling. Hoping you're having a good day. Uros Medic is making his way into the octagon right now. Serbian fans up on their feet. This should be an exciting main event. Uros Medic getting ready to get his checkup going, his Vaseline rub down. I was explaining in my stream earlier that kind of just letting people know that for those people that are dropping in and for those that we're watching at the moment, like, I get that the format at the moment is a bit boring. I have a boring format right now, but to kind of just to bear with me for these next few weeks. Because once I get moved, once I'm in Fort Bragg, I'm gonna try to like get a good setup going, a creative setup. I have a cousin that loves to do artwork, so she's gonna help me out making a setup. Um, and they have like a back room that I might be using in the backyard. So I might just make that a stream room, not even my room, and then just go sleep in the main house and just make a stream room. Because right now, yeah, it's just me recording the computer screen showing the tail of the tape of each fighter. Because I can't show the fights. But I have like other little ideas of what I'd like to do. But I only bring that up because, like, you know how I bring up how they walk up to the octagon and they get their Vaseline rubbed up on them. I want to do like a short segment for each time they do that, and like have a soundboard and kind of just like do a little sound or something to get the Vaseline segment going. But I'll have like little segments here and there. You know what I mean? It wouldn't just be that. But yeah, I have little ideas, bro. Little ideas that after the weeks of doing these UFC live streams, I feel like they would click. They would be funny. But I just don't have the setup for it right now, and I don't want to set it up and take it down in the next couple weeks. You know what I mean? They got D-Rod going with 3 inches of advantage on the reach. They got him as the underdog. 6 years older than Urosh. Bruce Buffer looking spiffy. Calling out the main event. People are on their feet, bro. So it's the first UFC event to take place in that country. It was cool to see. Like, if you see a UFC on any given Saturday at Las Vegas, you won't see the arena filled until like the main event. Like, that's when you won't see a single seat, right? You didn't see a single seat after the first fight. Like, people filled that arena up quick, taking advantage of having a UFC event, Love to see it. But that's how I feel. If I were to go to a UFC event, I wouldn't go just for the main card. Like, I'll go for every single fight. Bruce Buffer still got the pipes. Listen to that guy. For those of you dropping in, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you're watching from, let me know. Hope y'all chilling. We are watching the UFC event taking place in Serbia. First UFC event to take place in Serbia. California boy, too. Alhambra. I believe Alhambra. I want to say it's not considered the Bay Area, but it's near. Let's see. I got my computer right here. I'll look for you right now. Because when it was coming down to wrestling, we definitely wrestled kids from Alhambra before, so they can't be too far. Alhambra, California. It is just northeast of Los Angeles, south of Glendale, south of Pasadena. So it's actually near LA. Is there an Alhambra? Oh, no, you know what? Where's Alhambra High School? Let's ask that. Because, see, we wrestled kids from Alhambra High School. Maybe it wasn't from Alhambra, the city. Alhambra High School is in Martinez, California. And Martinez, you've heard of Martinez, California. Okay, that's more closer to the Bay Area. It actually might even be considered a Bay Area. Is Martinez Bay Area? They got it as East Bay. Yep. All right. Final fight. Get back out of these Alhambra pages. Oh, shit. Uros puts him down already. Oh, my God. 30 seconds. Oh, my God. You should have stayed in Mexico, bruh. Fuck. There was no rush to come back, D-Rod. You should have stayed your ass in prison and kept training, bro. What the fuck was that? Show me the replay, but I was changing over goddamn computer screen. Uros Medics puts him down, and I look over, and he's just giving him some nasty ground and pound. Jason just jumps on top of D-Rod and says, it's over. It's over. Fuck me. Everybody on their feet. Not a butt in the seat. D-Rod giving him his props. D-Rod back on his feet. He's okay. Uros jumps the fence, shaking Dana White's hand, shaking Hunter's hand. Hunter's the matchmaker. Dear Lord. And that's what? Welterweight? What a finish. Ooh, left hand. Left hand right over the eye socket. The right hand doesn't really connect. Right hand hits him kind of like in the shoulder. Puts him down on his feet. Off his feet. And then fucking Uros just covers him. 4 or 5 heavy ground and pound shots. Jason jumps on top. Had enough. And it's over. Main event over. We're not going to watch the post-match interview. We're going to end it right here. Thank y'all for watching the stream. We're going to watch this watch-along and edit it a little later. Hope y'all have a good day, good afternoon, good evening.